an agent is not going to want to work with you if it's clear to them that you don't know what you sell.
Yeah, get clear about your brand and your type.
Where do you see yourself? What kind of career do you see yourself having? A lot of actors are like, really young actors will say, I don't know. And I'm like, well, who should I ask?
If you don't know, who's going to know? Who's going to do this work for you?
And you can't expect the agent to give you that answer. They're not driving the car. You're driving the car.
Getting a good, legit agent can be a game changer. So Patrick and I wanted to do a complete deep dive. Once we started breaking it all down, there was so much gold, we had to break it into 2 episodes. In episode 1, we covered what an agent actually does for you and materials. So now that you've got your headshot, your resume, your reel, and your website ready to go, now what? In part 2, we're breaking down the science of submissions, how to get your materials in front of the right people at the right time in the right way. So you're not just sending your career into the void. We also discuss some factors that might affect how to keep a great relationship with your rep once you land one, and the red flags that might mean it's time to gracefully ghost your agent. Let's go! The Working Actor NYC, that's Patrick Richwood.
Gentlemen, Mr. Benjamin Howe.
This episode of The Working Actor NYC may contain profanity and some adult concepts, so please use your discretion.
So get your house in order before you knock on the doors. I think your next step is to start your research. Who is on your agent wish list? Did you ever do this?
Yeah, you go through. Here's what I did. I went through I thought of all the actors that have the careers that I would love to have. And I went, what are their agents? Who are their agents? And I figured out who their agents were. And then I started thinking about what if I wanted if I had 3 minutes or 30 seconds to pitch myself to an agent. What exactly would I want them to hear so that they were certain they knew that I knew why I was sellable?
It's got to be specific. You have to be specific about who the agents are, who they represent, and why you're a good fit for them.
Well, also why you have to. An agent is not going to want to work with you they might if you're just too delicious but they're less likely to want to work with you if it's clear to them that you don't know what you sell. A lot of actors
get clear about your brand and your type, and get clear about that.
Really clear, like super clear.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, my friend Danielle, who does a shit ton of commercials. She's done 20 times more commercials than me. You can't turn on a TV in a public space and you don't see her.
Without seeing her.
She's fabulous. She's just fantastically fabulous. She did this really cool course where they got really clear about what they were as actors, and she realized without question, oh, she's a woman in crisis. All her comedy, every bit of it, is woman in crisis, and her serious stuff too.
So know what that is so that you can help your agent see you as where you fit into their roster, where you are going to fill a gap for them, where you're going to solve a problem for them. So at the moment we're still researching and making our agent wish list. We've looked at actors that whose careers we admire, and we've researched who their agents are. Now, when you're creating your wish list, do you put CAA on there, or do you keep them out of it?
I think a wish list is a wish list because it's a wish list. So
I agree.
said put everybody on there that you would love to be with, but you better think about it. Are you going to be happy at CAA if you're not?
I agree.
If you don't see yourself trajectorying up to movie star or something, you know what I mean?
I agree.
And let's be honest with ourselves, right? Like, where do you see yourself? What kind of career do you see yourself having? A lot of actors are like, really young actors will say, I don't know. And I'm like, well, who should I ask? What?
If you don't know, who's going to know? Who's going to do this work for you?
You can't expect the agent to give you that answer. They're not driving the car. You're driving the car.
Yeah.
They're driving their car. Sometimes your cars drive together, but just to beat that metaphor into the ground, I think, yes, know who you are. Some would say it's your brand. I say it's your essence. You definitely figure out who the agents are that do a great job for the type of roles that you would love to be playing, those type of actors, and make that list. But I also say there's a lot of agents out there that you don't know. So unless you're at a certain level where you're just asking friends to, even if you're asking friends,
Colleagues. Yeah.
even if you're asking colleagues and friends, would you do you think you could ask your agent if they would meet me at my level, at your level? Actors, I don't know an actor that will say no. They'll say,
Right.
sure,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
right. You're looking for an agent? They'll say, so, okay. But but even in that situation, if you're looking for an agent and you're doing it like it's your job, I say once you know what you're going to send and how you're going to do it, and what your strategy is, it should be to all of them, unless they have a lousy reputation or unless they're not
Listen, when
doing.
when I was looking for an agent, this involved putting materials in a manila envelope and going to the post office and putting a stamp on it and mailing, in my
Honey,
case, 25.
listen, it was carrier pigeon in my day.
But you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? These days it's digital, cost you nothing. As long as your list of agents that you're targeting is specific. Like, you better not be sending it to somebody who left that agency 3 weeks ago or a
Oh yeah.
month ago. Like,
Well,
you have to stay on
you
top of
have
your
to take.
research.
You
Once
have to
you've
take.
created your list, you can't just pretend like it's always going to work for the next year and a half. You've got to
Agreed.
stay on top of all of that information that you have on there.
Yeah.
Who is it? Be specific. Who are they looking for? What's their email address? Or what
Also,
is the procedure for that office?
another thing you could do is you can ask um, if you have a good relationship with the casting director and you feel you have the leeway to ask them, um, ask,
I
what do
have
you?
definitely done that. I have asked casting directors. I was like, who do you know who's an agent who you think would be a good fit for me? Because they
Yeah,
do have opinions about who you are and what you can play and what you can do.
yeah.
And I have certainly done that. The next thing, once you've got your materials together and your list together, you need to make sure you have your cover letter, your cover email sharp and tight, and it doesn't sound desperate. Like, so you want to keep it concise, you want to keep it professional, and you want to keep it specific. I think it's a mistake to have one email that you are going to send to all 25 agents on your list. I think you want to make sure that each time you're being specific about who it is you're talking to and what it is you know about that agency and why you fit beautifully into their roster right now.
I am going to disagree. I'm going
Okay.
to disagree. I think if unless you're at a certain level in your career already, you want to have a much larger list than 25.
Okay.
I think you want to have like a list of like 150,
Oh, wow.
because there's agents out there that you don't know how good they are until you. I think the more agents you create the opportunity to actually meet with, the more frame of reference you get, the much more likely you're going to find the perfect agent for you. If you meet with 25 and one says yes and you go to that
But you're
meeting.
not going to meet with 25. I'm talking about sending a
No, I
submission.
just said if you send 25 and one says yes, let's meet, and you go to that meeting, you're more inclined to go, I better sign with them. Or at least that's my experience. I've had that experience where I'm like, I only met two out of the 30 that I sent to. So I went signed with one of them. I
But
didn't
that's
have a
why I
problem.
think that's why my list, certainly when I was looking for an agent back in the aughts, that is why my list was only 25 agents long, because I had whittled out the ones I had realized that there were people who were jerks or assholes or weren't doing the work that I wanted to be doing, weren't broad enough, weren't doing film and television. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why my research phase was very thorough.
Yeah,
That's how I managed to get my list down to 25.
I still think that the research phase leaves something out, which is when you meet with them. They might have
Absolutely.
all the boxes ticked, but you don't like them it doesn't click when you meet with them. Likewise, or conversely, I should say, you don't want to rule out ones that you go, well, they, you know, they don't, I don't know, for various reasons. If your instinct says no, 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 that's fine. But I often think those no's might be yeses when it comes to agents. And that's, I'm speaking anecdotally. I don't, almost every agent I've ever had was referred to me. So
Yes.
I'm speaking basically from my, experience with with other actors. and their, what they've told me and their advice, their advice and my advice and blah, blah, like community. So I can't speak to it personally, but it seems to me that a formula, at least, that works very, very well is widen your search, be specific about who you are, but be open about who they are.
So let's get back to the submission process. You want to have a cover letter that is concise, professional, specific. I say start with a clear hook, like whether that's a big credit, a unique skill, a referral from somebody who they already represent, an upcoming show, something that's going to make them pay attention in the first line or two. You all, of course, want to provide links to your headshot, resume, reel website. And I think you want to invite them to see you in something if that's possible, and then get out. That's your email. You do not need to tell them your life story. They will stop reading.
Yeah, no, it's got to be short and sweet. I love the
give them
thing
the
about
hook. Give them the hook. Give them the links. Give them an invite and get out.
There are templates out there for cover letters and things like that that can give you good ideas, and there are lots of them.
And there's AI.
Oh yeah, there's AI. I don't like AI, but then there's also, but it's true, there's AI.
The other thing I would say is never send your materials on a Monday because your agent is catching up on all of the work that happened over the weekend. And I would say, and I think I've spoken to my agents about this, and they've said, don't send us anything before 11 a.m. because they need those first 2 hours of the day to catch up on what it is that came in overnight.
But I would also say, set your clock, because at 11:01, you should hit send to all those different things. They should all be separate. Definitely run it by 3 of your friends before you send it. Most definitely run it by 3 of your friends who you trust, in the industry.
Does this reflect me? Does this sound like me?
Am I being too, is this my sense of humor? They don't know yet.
Right.
Do not do it in a vacuum. The research also involves asking around and going online.
So this is coming up to the next thing, which is referrals and networking, right? This is like the secret ingredient. You just said that the agents you've worked with mostly came from referrals.
All of them have come from referrals.
Yeah. I think one of the superpowers is being able to build relationships with your fellow actors in a way that allows you to say to them, hey, I'm looking for an agent. Tell me about yours.
Or you can just go up to them and say, listen, I know you're an asshole and I never liked you, but I'm great. So do you think you could find, when you get a minute, just,
you've got to, in seriousness though, you have to do it graciously and you have to not over ask. If somebody doesn't respond, you can burn a bridge by pestering them about it. I am a pushover. I will always help people out like that.
Yeah. You referred me to my agent.
See, I'm all about supporting my friends.
But you did. But
because that's what builds community. That's how we do.
Well, also it's not pie. If you get an agent,
oh my God,
it's not,
it doesn't take anything away from you. Yeah.
But I do think that you should do it graciously and you should ask only once. But it's similar to asking for money. Don't be surprised if people say no. I'd really rather not. It's not personal. That's their way of doing the world, right? They don't want to, and it's not necessarily because they don't at all, because they don't think you're talented or worth it. It's like, I just don't want to go there with my agent where I'm asking. Other people are like, it's no problem. My agent can say yes or no. It's over in there. The ball's theirs.
The only time I've been a gatekeeper for my agent is when I've said to him, hey, somebody asked me about contacting you about representation, and my agent has said to me, please don't send me any more females under 30. Do you know what I mean? Like just said, I don't have any space right now so it's not a no, it's just a not now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Agents rosters change all the time. So if whether that's a referral that you're getting a no from or an agent that you're getting a no from, I think it's worth checking back after a certain period of time. I think to your point earlier about the follow-up, if you're going through the list of agents on your spreadsheet, keep them updated when you get a booking. Keep them updated when you have a milestone.
What's this thing
Be persistent without pestering them.
There's also another factor that's very important, which is you must circle back. You must. You can't leave it. You can't leave it like, okay, well, I did it. Now I'm done. No, you put it on a calendar. 2 weeks later, or whatever it is the appropriate amount of time. I think it's 2 weeks, or two business. Two
2
patches of
working
5
weeks.
business
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Right. You circle back with
And
another.
say,
Will be
do you just reply to your own email that you already sent them saying, hey, just bumping this to the top of your inbox?
No, I wouldn't say anything like that. I would not presume that they haven't seen it. I would say something like, "Hey, I'm circling back to see if we might make we might make a date to meet. Would love to meet you," and add something new, a new piece of information. Like I just booked. We just shot such and such. It's on this date, or
Uh-huh.
hey, my thing, this is airing on Tuesday. Anything like that,
Right.
or and if you
New
don't have
information. Great
how about
idea.
new information?
One thing I sort of really did want to sort of talk about is any agent better than the right agent if you're just starting out or if you're mid-career?
I think so. I think when you're just starting out, any agent is better than the right agent, because you can do like a step ladder, and agents are doing that too. They're like, any character guy in this age range is better than no character actor in this age range, so I'll take this one that I don't really want and replace them. You know what I mean?
So then talk about how you know whether or not it's the right agent. Like, what does that feel like when it is the right agent, or what are red flags that it's the wrong agent?
I like an agent who is fairly aggressive about what they want to do with and specific about what they want to do with my career, let's call it. Um, I like an agent who actually makes suggestions before I do. Like, hey, so and so is doing such and such. I'm going to get you on the short list.
I'm just going to say out loud, that has never happened to me.
Oh, I've had it.
I know you've had it because you're Patrick Richwood and you have Hollywood blockbusters under your belt. But
No, that's not it. I think it's the luck of the drop. Plus, P.S. I'm Patrick fucking Richwood. You left that in. And you're Benjamin fucking Howes.
I
And
am, but I'm driving the bus. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I like it when it's a co-pro. That's what I use. That's what I like. That's what I look for. If it's not there, it's not ideal for me. I like when an agent says, "No, I'm not interested in you doing da da da." Are you? Because I'd rather you didn't. If
oh,
it
I've
leaves
certainly had that. I have certainly had
that's
offers,
the
and my
kind of thing I'm
agent said,
talking about.
"You can do this if you want to, but I think you're better off staying here or doing this other project
That's the kind of
instead or
thing I'm
whatever."
talking about, just on the other end of the offer. I like agents to be able to say, so and so's doing such and such next season. Are you interested in that? Because I think you're a shoe in, and it's this director. You know
That's
that
never happened for me.
that doesn't mean it's not possible. And the way it's possible in the case of the situation you're in my opinion, is you can design a game
Yes, I can, but I
and,
don't think my
and
agent's going to.
enroll your agent in it.
I can certainly include them in stuff, but it's always come from me. I'm been the one saying, "Hey, Goodspeed Opera House is doing a Christmas Story next season. I would love to play the old man in that production." That's always
Uh-huh.
started with me. It's never been my agent saying, "Hey, Goodspeed is doing Christmas Story next season. Do you want me to put you in?" Do you know what I'm saying? It's never.
Well, I think, okay, let's get specific. They're not going to do that because they're going to just submit you. They're busy. They're going to submit you for the things you're right for. And sometimes it's really like I think machine gun. And sometimes there's nothing. They're not picturing you for something you're right for. Part of the reason why I think it's great to have an ongoing conversation with one's agent, not that I always do it for my own reasons, I'm lazy and stuff, is that is that then you're on their mind when that role that they might pass over for they go, oh, submit. It's active. It's in the frontal lobe, and that's part of the thing we can drive. We can absolutely drive that. I've found that when I say 3 times, two times or more to an agent, I really want to be in on this. This is something that I want. I'm more likely to get in on it.
Absolutely. When you're driving the bus, yes.
Right, but
But I
that's
don't think my agent's looking at Steppenwolf's next season and thinking, "Oh, what is gonna be a good fit for Benjamin?"
no, but I still like you said, what makes you feel good about it in an agent? That's what makes me feel good in an agent when they're thinking, I'm not expecting my career to matter to them as much as it matters to me. I'm just, like I said, I'm just one shirt on the rack. I just want to know they're thinking
So what are
about
red flags for you? What are this agent is not the right agent for you?
when they're not available to talk, even for a question. A lot of people prefer someone who's more comfortable texting because they're more comfortable texting. I'm not. There's zero nuance in a text, and sometimes I need to know exactly where I stand about this or that. So I prefer someone that's not afraid to pick up the phone. And my current agent is not afraid to pick up the phone at all, which I love.
I think that's absolutely right about if you're sending questions into the ether and those emails and phone calls are going unreturned, maybe you don't have the relationship that maybe this is not the right relationship for you.
Or if you can't get them on the horn, and I'm not talking about once in a while. I'm talking about like all the time. If you can't get them on I've had agents like that where it's like, I'm out of here. I can't work with you because you're not, unless you're negotiating something for me. If you have an agent who hasn't managed to negotiate you above the offer 3 times in a row, I'm not happy with that.
I had one agent who I know was a very hard negotiator, like always all when the offer came in would always say, "We're going to ask for this, we're going to ask for this, we're going to ask for this, and we're going to ask for this. Is there anything else you want to add?" Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I knew that they were this particular agent was on the ball about that. Now there were other things that there were other issues, but
Yes,
and so
I
I'm
have had that agent.
no
I've had
longer working with that person. But yes.
right, right. There's it's a recipe, it's a recipe. And sometimes you just find that agent and but I do find that annoying. If they're not able to negotiate or even interested in trying to negotiate above the offer 3 times in a row, I'm like, what am I paying you for? I can accept the offer.
Right.
All you did was submit me. I mean, I do think sometimes it's like it depends on the agent and it depends on how much work they've done for you and what's you know, I
Yeah,
I
they've
do a
gotta be not afraid
production.
to ask. They may not be able to do anything. It may be that the budget is I've often had theaters say, "No, the budget is set for the salaries and we can't change them, but here's what we can offer instead," you know? We'll
I
give
had an agent once who said it was for a movie. I didn't have an agent when I did the previous movie. I negotiated my own contract and I did a good job.
Oh.
And in fact, the producer told me on that movie, you should be an agent. You did really, you got stuff
Oh,
nobody else
Patrick,
got.
I love you with all my heart. I think you'd be a terrible agent.
Oh, I would be a horrible agent. Yeah. But this guy was impressed that I got stuff that nobody
Yeah.
else got. Anyway, I asked on the next movie for the same production, it was the same director. We did a movie in Romania together, and but after that, I asked my agent, um, ask for this and this and this, and they said, "Oh, they'll never get." It.
Don't
And I said,
start me with the
"I
negatives.
got that on my last one, and I asked, so please ask for this."
Good
I
lord.
don't like that. That's a red flag for me.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't know.
Right.
You don't know until you ask, and I'm not in a position to ask. You are.
You don't
Ask.
you don't ask, you don't get. So
Yeah,
that's my mantra.
that's right. That's true, and, you could say that applies to this whole conversation. You gotta ask for what you want from the world.
You get to
That
ask for
means do
what you
your
want.
research, do your thing, get ready. Like, how serious about it are you?
So as we land the plane, I just want to empower our listeners that yes, you are the product. You are also the producer. So create what it is that you want, whether that's creating the work that you need in order to sell yourself to an agent, create your list, create your materials. The goal isn't just getting an agent. The goal is build a sustainable career.
That's 100% right, and you're really actually not selling anything. You're just going, "Here it is," and you're doing it with great specificity and clarity. The more specific and clear you can be about who you are in the business and in the world, actually, the more powerful, the more piercingly you penetrate through all the crap and get.
And you're helping to solve somebody else's problem. The clearer you can be about who you are, the clearer a solution you're going to present yourself as.
That's why I start every cover letter with, "You're welcome." Dear agent, you're welcome. And here's why.
So listeners, please tell us your agency wins and fails and questions. You can find us on YouTube at the Working Actor NYC. Please feel free to comment below if that's where you are seeing us, or if you're listening to us through your podcast media. Feel free to rate and review us and let us know.
Subscribe us.
Yeah, do all that.
Yeah, do that stuff. Hurry up.
Patrick's desperate for you to do that.
I need friends.